Hey guys, welcome back to Being Peacock Organizing. Shallow drawer organizers are one of the most commonly purchased organizing products. They come in all shapes and sizes and materials. You can even go DIY and make yours or just use boxes that you have around the house. This video is here to help you understand how to select the right sizes and set up the best custom layout for your drawer in your organizing project. If you're new to Being Peacock Organizing, I'm professional organizer Lisa Archula Sims, and this channel is about helping people understand what they really need for their projects so they spend their organizing dollars and organizing time wisely. So if that sounds good to you, click the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified of the latest videos. So I'm going to walk you through 4 steps to help you pick the right drawer organizers for your project. But before we start, there are 2 things that you absolutely have to know. First, purchasing organizing product is always the last part of the process. So if you have not gone through the categorizing and purging part of organizing process, then most likely you are going to spend your money on things that are not really going to work, and you're not going to be any more organized than you were before you started. And secondly, the reason that you go through the categorizing and the purging, the actual organizing process, is so that you see how much you have of each category. And it's only then that you will know the best location and then the best product to house that category. So if you haven't gone through the actual organizing process yet, I strongly encourage you to do that first. And if you need help with that, I have a video on the organizing process that I will link in the description below. So if you're watching this video on shallow drawer organizers, you're probably working on a kitchen, a bathroom, maybe makeup, a home office, sewing or craft room, or maybe even a nightstand. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to focus on kitchen drawers, but the steps that we're going to go through will work on any drawer project that you have. So today I am filming in my 1920s breakfast room. So my drawer is 100 years old, and this is a rental property, so it's a little rough looking, but it will be beautifully organized. Okay, so step 1, contents. Assuming that you've gone through the organizing process and created your categories, in the kitchen you might have categories like flatware, knives and cutting, prepping, utensils, hot pot holders, cup towels, baggies and foil, and miscellaneous, which could be like chip clips, matches, scissors, rubber bands, eyeglasses, things like that. If you're lucky enough to have a drawer for each of those categories, then great. But if you're not and you have a smaller space, then you're going to need to figure out where to house these categories. So for instance, if you don't have a lot of drawers, then maybe utensils need to live in a caddy up on the countertop. Or maybe if a category is pretty small, then 2 categories could go into 1 drawer. Another thing that could help is that you rethink your definition of the category. So for instance, if you do a lot of baking, you probably already have a baking area in a cabinet or a pantry. So if you don't have a lot of drawer space, you could divide your prep into baking and non-baking, and then just take the baking prep and house it with the larger baking category. The main thing is to make it intuitive for you. If you were looking for something, where would you think to go for it? But the most important thing is to keep the category intact. Don't split it into multiple locations. So this picture shows one of 2 drawers in a client's home that was housing prep. So even though there are 2 drawers, it works because they're next to each other, and so the category is still intact. So step 2 is layout. Now that you have assigned locations to each category, you get to go into the drawer now and figure out the best positioning of the contents. And this is going to help you know what size and how many drawer organizers you need. And here are 5 tips to help you create the best layout for your drawer. So step 1 is to group your categories now into subcategories. So in the prep, for example, you're going to have subcategories of measuring and grading, juicing, stirring, peeling, sifting, things like that. So in this picture of the client's drawer, I've grouped things how I want them to lay in the drawer according to these subcategories. Tip number 2 is that the size of the drawer organizer should match the contents. So if you have like a pair of kitchen shears, they're not going to fit in a standard 3-inch size drawer organizer. And conversely, if you have a lot of small items, maybe like in an office or a craft setting, you're going to want to have more smaller size containers. Third tip is measure. You need to measure the internal dimensions of your drawer, length, width, and especially the height, because that's going to dictate what sizes you're able to purchase, and then also if you're able to do a stacking system or not. So the standard shallow drawer is 3 inches deep, tall, and even my 100-year-old drawer here is 3 inches deep. The standard drawer organizer is typically 2 inches tall, and so with a 3-inch drawer, you're not going to be able to do a stacking system. You would need at least a 4.5 inch clearance to do that. So knowing that will help you eliminate some of your choices right off the bat. And I do want to say that I really recommend individual bins. Expandable drawer organizers can be good, but I encourage you to not purchase multi-compartment trays, starter kits, and multi-packs, because inevitably they're just not going to be the sizes that you need, and it's just going to sort of work, and then you're going to have things left over that you can't use that are just now cluttering your house. The bottom line is you're going to be the best organized if you can create your own custom layout that matches the shapes and sizes of the contents of your drawer. And this is where you get to use your fun, creative, problem-solving spatial skills. It's really just trial and error. It's like working a puzzle, which is super fun to me. But if that sends you running in the opposite direction, do not worry. It truly is just trial and error. So do the best you can. I mean, you can't really get it wrong, right? It's just going to be a fun, creative process. And I have been known on more than one occasion to actually take the drawer to the store, and while I'm standing there in the aisle, experiment with different sizes and come up with just the right products that I need. Okay, tip number 4 is, in a perfect world, on a perfect day, your drawer organizers will fill up the space of your drawer. But that's not going to always happen, and you're going to have some dead space left in the drawer. So if you do have some dead space left in the drawer, I encourage you to be really purposeful about what you put there. And if it's not that big a space, I would encourage you to leave it empty. I know the tendency is to fill all our empty spaces, but when the space is small and awkward, it's hard to get things out, and it's just a pain in the butt. I guess what I want to say is it's okay to have some dead space. So tip number 5 is you want to keep your drawer organizers from sliding when you close and open the drawer. And this can be a real source of frustration, so it's an important step. The easy solution is just to use non-skid drawer liner. That will take care of most situations. So if for some reason you don't want to use non-skid drawer liner, you'll need to add bumpers to the bottom of your organizers. Some come with them already, but most do not. So you just add those to the bottom. But again, the easiest solution is just to use non-skid drawer liner. What makes the drawer look pulled together and well done is that the grid that you create in your layout is nicely connected and close to each other. So keeping the drawer organizers together in the drawer is important. So step 3 is material. What is your drawer organizer made out of? Drawer organizers come in basically 4 materials: plastic, wood, metal or mesh, and then fabric and paper. In our kitchen example, we need something that's going to be easy to clean and durable. So I would say any of these would work except for the paper and the fabric. And if you were working in a bathroom, then water resistant is going to be a really big deal, because think about wet toothbrush, toothpaste, razors, maybe skincare products that might spill. So in that case, you're definitely going to want to do something solid like the plastic or the wood. Another thing to consider when selecting the material that you want for your drawer organizer is how do you want to actually keep the drawer clean? We've all experienced this situation where you'd like just look down in your drawer sometime and it just is all of a sudden dirty. Like, where did this stuff come from? So there's two ways of dealing with that. Do you like the idea of there being a solid drawer organizer so that whatever crumbs and stuff fall into the container and then you see sooner and deal with? Or do you like the idea of things falling through onto the drawer below so that they're actually not next to the contents of the drawer? I know that's a really weird thing to think about, but sometimes just asking yourself a simple question like that makes the direction that you want to go really clear. Okay guys, so step 4 is shopping. So now that you have decided what material that you would like your drawer organizers to be made out of, you get to go shop. And of course, there's drawer organizers available so many places. You can go online with Amazon, you can be brick and mortar, you've got Bed Bath & Beyond, Container Store, Dollar Tree, Target, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. Like, there's a million places that you can buy drawer organizers. But here is something to really pay attention to. There are a lot of drawer organizers on the market that the product suite only comes in 1 or 2, maybe 3 sizes. So I really encourage you to shop and make sure that if you like something, it really has the sizes that you have already decided that you need for your project. So when you go shopping, it's really important to keep your layout in mind and use that as your template to decide what to purchase. My best advice to you is stick to your plan. Don't be swayed by the least expensive product or the most gadgety if it doesn't deliver what you need for your layout. So my client wanted white drawer dividers, and so this is how this particular drawer of prep ended up in her home. And by the way, if you want more information on what's available on the market right now, I did an extensive product review video on shallow drawer organizers, and I will link that in the description below. So up until now, we've talked pretty academically about how to do all this, but I want you to know that aesthetics really matter. If this is a kitchen or a bathroom situation, you're in that drawer every day, multiple times a day, and it would really be nice if you liked how it looked. Can a beautifully organized drawer make you smile? Absolutely. It's worth going the direction of what you really want, even if it takes you a little longer to get there. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so I am not necessarily saying that you have to go to a high-end look, but don't just settle for something that's less than what you really want. And by the way, you can get a high-end look by just making sure that all the drawer organizers match. Okay, so let's take a look at my drawer. This is a flatware drawer, and so it's pretty basic. I've already figured out my contents, and I've done my layout, and I wanted to have white drawer dividers, so I've already established that. So I wanted you to see that even though I picked the layout that I like the best, the drawer organizer sizes actually allowed me to create at least 2 different layouts, which, by the way, is the beauty of using single bin organizers. So in the back, I do have some things that I'm not quite ready to say goodbye to, but I don't really use them. They're more sentimental. So tucking them in that back drawer divider is a perfect location. And the last piece of advice I would leave you when you're creating these layouts is be okay with imperfection. The sweetest thing is when the product measurements, the contents, and the drawer measurements all line up and it fits perfectly. There's no dead space and it looks amazing. It looks like a custom job. That's what I strive for with my clients, but it doesn't always work. But the truth is, anything you do to organize your drawer is going to be better than it was before you started. So it's all good. So ta-da! Here is my flatware drawer. So if you'd like to see more project pictures and things I've done with clients, feel free to check out my website. And also you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook where I post about projects weekly. If you found this video helpful in setting up your drawers, please click the like button. And if you like this type of content, hit subscribe and the bell so you'll get notified of future videos. And if you would like to know what's available on the market right now in shallow drawer organizers, my favorites and recommendations, check out this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.